What's up everyone, this is CoyneDawg here with another GTA video. So in this video I'm going to be introducing you to my new head-to-head series where I'll be putting up cars against each other in 3 different tests to find out which one is best. And in this episode we're going to be having a look at the RE-7B against the Tempesta. 2 cars right at the very top of the supercars class. So let's get straight into the first test. So the first test we're going to run is a 2-mile drag. So this is literally just a 2-mile straight across the big lake at the bottom of Chiliad. And I ran the cars down this a total of 3 times each, basically just to allow for my reaction times and all that sort of stuff, and also to I got the boost at the start with each one. In terms of the results that came out of those 3 tests, they were all every time very close to each other, so you were talking like a couple of hundredths, less than 1/10 difference on each of the 3 runs I did with the cars. So they were pretty close on all occasions. It wasn't like the results varied wildly. I was quite interested to see what the results would be with these, because neither of these cars are known for their top speed or their acceleration particularly. Obviously the Tempesta's strength lies in its 4-wheel drive, and the RE-7B obviously has got that downforce stat which really helps it around the corners. So you've just seen the Tempesta go down there, and we'll now run the RE-7B down as well. So a good time around here appears to be around about 33 seconds, somewhere like that. It's between 33 and 34 seconds tends to be the time it takes for the vehicles I've tested so far. Obviously we will expect some cars to get quicker times than that as we get on to other vehicles in this series. Obviously the 811 and things like that will probably be quicker, purely because they've got a much higher top speed than these 2 cars. So I'll get to the results of these 2 cars now, and as you can see, the RE-7B has won this round. It's about 4/10 quicker, somewhere around that. So you can see I've put a little trophy in the corner there. That's just to show that the RE-7B has won this first round. So the next test that we're going to run is called Bridging the Gap, which is a test track that I made, and KANGEEREDWOOD has kindly turned into a proper race circuit. And this circuit is basically, for anyone that's seen any of my old videos, I had a version of this, and this is like, it's got some of the same elements, but I've tweaked it a little bit to try and just turn it into a better track, in my opinion. So this track is your typical Los Santos bumpy street circuit, and on this particular circuit it is really all about slow speed corners. There's a couple of high speed corners, but generally it is low speed cornering. So I thought this was quite a good test to do with these vehicles. You can see quite well with the RE-7B. It sticks to the road pretty well. It was quite interesting how these 2 cars compared on this circuit, to be honest, because they have very different driving styles, and the RE-7B is, in my opinion, it's not really well suited to low speed cornering. You know, its strength really lies in high speed cornering because of that downforce statistic. But interestingly, on a couple of corners on this track, especially this one coming up here, the RE-7B can take that corner completely flat out. I don't need to lift at all or anything, whereas the Tempesta is not the same. I have to lift on that. So on both occasions on this track, I think I did 40 laps with the RE-7B, and the Tempesta took a few more. I think I did about 57 laps, 58 laps. And basically all I do is I keep driving until I feel I've done the best lap I possibly can with these vehicles. You know, there's no set limit of laps that I will do. I'll just keep going until I get to what I believe to be the limit of my ability. If you read the description, it'll tell you more about the testing and all that sort of stuff there. And just to reiterate as well, that I am just an average driver. I'm not a pro, so the times that I get, you know, other people may be able to get better, but I personally feel that the times I do will mean more to more people, because most people are just an average driver like me. So just bear that in mind. But yeah, the Tempesta on this circuit, it was a really good car, to be honest. On this circuit, it really suited this circuit very well, and I was quite shocked at the overall results, and you guys might be as well. So the Tempesta was nearly 0.6 of a second quicker around this circuit than the RE-7B. Which just shows, you know, the RE-7B is supposedly the king of the supercars, but it is very specific on circuits. You know, to be honest, on most circuits the RE-7B will be better, but on that specific circuit it wasn't. And then this track here is another circuit which I've made with the help of Kanji again. So I put the layout together very roughly, and then Kanji has picked it up and turned it into a proper racetrack because I'm rubbish with the creator. And this circuit is more about medium to high speed cornering. So you would expect it to suit the RE-7B a little bit more. So through this sector here, for example, the RE-7B just sticks to the circuit really well. There's a couple of slower speed corners on here, a couple of hairpins as well. But it is overall more about medium to high speed, whereas the other circuit was about low speed. And that's why I've done these two different tracks, because I really wanted to show the strengths and weaknesses of cars on different circuits instead of just running them all around one track and giving you a result, you know, that doesn't really tell the full story of a vehicle. That's why I wanted to try and do something a little bit different. So that was the RE-7B, and then the Tempesta again around the same circuit. This is, as I said, because it's medium to high speed, the Tempesta's got a really weird driving style which it took me quite a while to adapt to. And I think it's down to its four-wheel drive. But basically, with the RE-7B, you kind of have to brake and then turn, whereas with this, you can brake and turn at the same time. You'll see the car rotating into corners, which you can't do so well with the RE-7B, and it takes quite a lot to adapt to those two, to be honest. I swapped back and forth between these cars a few times throughout the testing, and it took a good few laps to adjust to the differences between the two vehicles, because they are so different in terms of the way they drive. But yeah, in terms of the way this car goes around this track, you know, it's pretty good. We will get to the results in a few seconds time so you can see the overall winner, but as you probably would expect, this circuit is certainly more suited to the RE-7B. So you can see the results there. So the RE-7B is near enough 3/4 of a second quicker. So you can see the RE-7B has now got 2 trophies and the Tempesta has got 1. So the winner of the overall test in this series has been the RE-7B, but I think I've shown that the Tempesta certainly can stand its own, especially on certain circuits. You will find it is a better car. There will be a part 2 to this video where I will show some alternative tests which are more specific to certain things rather than an overall test of the vehicle around a track, which is why I've split them into 2 separate videos. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it useful. Feel free to comment below on what you think of the new format for this. I'm going to try and do one of these videos probably every single week. When there's DLCs around and all that sort of stuff, I'll obviously tweak and change that a little bit. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll be back again soon with another video.